California bans evil food dyes, as they should, maybe. This is Pastor Travis with the City of Seekers. Welcome. Let's see what we've got here. We have, this is delicious. Red 40, yellow 6, yellow 5, blue 1, red 40 lake, yellow 6 lake. I hope it doesn't come from yellow snow because I'm not interested. Where are these lakes coming from? Downstream from a sewage treatment plant for unicorns? There's Blue 2 Lake. That's the only one that sounds even remotely safe. So California has banned 6 artificial food dyes based on health concerns. Now, I've spent the last 3 hours studying these food dyes, and after 3 hours, I still have no idea exactly how bad these things are. They're artificial, so they're probably bad, maybe. By the gallon, definitely, I'm assuming. I found one site that was concerned that Sour Patch Kids contain 3 of the 6 banned dyes, and I just love that. We're concerned about the food dyes in Sour Patch Kids and not the fact that the marketing team thought that the best way to sell the product was the seduction of, come, eat the children, they're sour children. Whether or not the powers that be got this wrong, I can't determine. What I can determine is that people got Jesus very wrong. And now, that involves you. In Mark chapter 8, verse 27, Jesus asks this peculiar question: who do people say that I am? They said John the Baptist, Elijah. Others said one of the prophets. If you're asking, how could they possibly think that Jesus was a man who was recently beheaded by Herod? The answer is this. There was a cultural myth in those days that if a powerful person met a tragic end, that person's spirit would then move to some other living person. That's also what they meant when they thought that Jesus was a prophet. Not just a new prophet, but actually one of the former prophets essentially reincarnated. But I digress. Jesus asked them, but who do you say that I am? Peter answered him, you are the Christ. And Peter had it right. He felt great about it, I'm sure. According to other Gospels, Peter came to this conclusion because God had revealed it to him, and this was confirmed by Jesus. So God spoke directly to Peter, sharing with Peter who Jesus is, and Peter's walking on the clouds, man. But then he made a horrible error. He imagined what the next number of days and years would be like to serve side by side with Jesus as the Messiah. Maybe it looked like power. Maybe it looked like status. Maybe it looked like leading the Israelites to victory over the Romans. Whatever it was, it wasn't what Jesus described next. Jesus said that he must suffer many things, be rejected by the elders, chief priests, and experts in the law, and then be killed. This was not on Peter's radar. I could imagine the questions Peter had to be asking himself. Why would they do that? Why would they do that to the Messiah who they've been waiting for hundreds of years? How is it possible that they would make this horrible error? Why does it have to be this way? Peter then rebukes Jesus. We don't get the details of that rebuke. We don't get a sense of what Peter's primary concern was until we hear Jesus' response. Jesus turns from Peter, gathers the crowd, and says, "If anyone wants to become my follower, he must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me." That phrase, "to take up the cross," was an idiom that was very specific during that time. To take up the cross meant to face the highest levels of rejection and humiliation. If anyone wants to become my disciple, he must face rejection and humiliation. In this case, not just rejection from random strangers, but by people in their community, the religious leaders, the authorities, their friends, their families, which is horrible. And this is where most people end their conclusions, that this is the kind of rejection and humiliation that they must face, but that's not the worst of it. Jesus is making it clear that the disciples and that we will be humiliated and rejected like he was. Jesus wasn't rejected based on who he was. Jesus wasn't humiliated based on an accurate representation of what he did. Jesus was rejected and humiliated based on lies, falsehoods, and mischaracterizations that others created for him. They claimed he was blasphemous. They claimed he would lead a rebellion against Rome, among a list of other lies. They made Jesus into something he wasn't and then rejected that. So when Jesus says that we must pick up our crosses and face rejection and humiliation like him, he's very literally saying, you must face rejection that is unwarranted. You must face humiliation that you don't deserve. You must face lies, mischaracterizations, misunderstandings to the highest degree, to such a high degree, in fact, that it is as if you two are propped up on a cross. Listen to me carefully. Today, when you announce, "I am a Christian," a part of your personal identity is replaced with characteristics that someone else or some other group created for you. You're not even going to know what those characteristics are. Anti-science, anti-logic, superstitious, crazy, hypocritical, old-fashioned, judgmental, and the list goes on and on. Whatever a person has been told, whatever a person has experienced in their past, whatever the latest podcaster has claimed about one or any group of Christians can be easily projected onto you. And in that person or those people's eyes, become a part of who you are. This could happen in the eyes of an individual or the mob. And there's no way to stop it. So why face it at all? At the end of this passage in Mark, Jesus states, "For if anyone is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man will also be ashamed of him when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels." That is terrifying. It's indicating from the lips of Jesus, you must choose who you will stand with. But on the flip side, you could be the one to set the record straight, which is exactly what Jesus was doing when they mischaracterized him. He was making it clear who God truly was when so many at the time had it wrong, from the religious leaders down. You could be the one to make God clear to someone else. You could be the one to show grace when grace is needed. You could be the one to bring truth when the hard truth has to be proclaimed. You could be the one to work side by side with the Spirit to bring someone into relationship with God as He truly is. It could be you. Proclaiming Jesus, picking up your cross, is the only way to do this. Risking being misunderstood and mischaracterized is the only way to do this. Red 40, yellow 6, yellow 5, blue 1. Have we mischaracterized them? Probably not, maybe. If you choose to proclaim Christ, will you be mischaracterized? Absolutely. But when that day comes for us, instead of shame, may we hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Therefore, proclaim. This is Pastor Travis with the City of Seekers. Please subscribe, like, share, and until next time, God bless.